What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of FTB Infinity on the HermitCraft server. So, let me introduce you to our new friend. Slowpoke has joined the server. No, not really. These are the FTB NPCs that are in our game. I'm in the mining age right now. I saw that Joe Hills came through here and was kind of looking at what I did earlier. And yeah, he made a little tunnel underground and he did a bit of mining. But I'm noticing here in our Mushroom Island single BIOMESOP world that these NPCs are arriving here. They should not be spawning. They're not following the same rules that regular mobs follow. And now we're getting a whole bunch of these guys built up underground. Oop, they hurt. I don't have a lot of armor. In fact, I only have diamond boots, really. I still haven't put armor on my jetpack. Yeah, so that's kind of a problem. Bat spawning I don't think is any big deal, but these hostile mobs should not be spawning here. I mean, that's the entire reason why we made this a Mushroom Island biome, is to prevent all hostile mobs from spawning. I might end up disabling those NPCs. I'm going to talk to the guys who are playing on the server too. I know I've heard a few of them say they don't like those NPCs. Like, they visited the end the other day. That's where I got those ender pearls. If you didn't see King Daddy D-Max video that went up yesterday, I'd go check it out. Yeah, it was him, Slip, XP. I think XP also uploaded that too. Anyway, they all went to the end. That's where I got my ender pearls, and yeah, apparently those NPCs spawn all over the end as well, instead of only in the overworld or whatever, instead of only endermen spawning there. They're kind of a nuisance. I don't know. So, we didn't get very far with our quarry. We ran out of ender pearls a lot quicker than I thought we were. We didn't even get a full chunk done. I think that's probably a quarter of a chunk. So let's take a look at the resources we did gather from this setup. We got this stuff. It doesn't really look like much since it's all spread out, but it's over 2 stacks of redstone. That's that 12 copper we got that I smelted up. We got 5 more on top of that. Almost a stack of iron, which is not bad at all. Almost half a stack of Certus quartz. We did get some bees. A little bit of the yellowite ore. So, we got some stuff going on. We need to figure out a better power source. You guys told me in the comments that I should have been using the Ender Pearl, the Eye of Enders. The Ender Pearl plus the Blaze Powder makes the Eye of Ender. Apparently, those are supposed to last for like a full minute. I don't know if it lasts for a full minute in this ×8 Ender generator. I assume it lasts 1/8 of that time. I don't know. But anyway, we need to find a better power source. So I think we're going to start looking at big reactors today. We're not going to set up like the biggest big reactor possible. We're going to set up one that'll just provide power for a while. I do have a decent amount of yellorium. I think about 4 stacks of it. Already smelted, ready to go. Let's go through here. Okay, that freaked me out for a second. I was like, why is there a hole in my base? Load chunk. Yeah, I really didn't know what was going on there for a second. Anyway, yeah, we almost got 4 full stacks of yellorium ore. Ingots, that's what they are. I have 5 more of the yellorite ore here that can be smelted down. I did try turning these into blocks. They turn into uranium blocks, and from what I can see, there is no way to convert this back from Industrial Craft 2, the IC2 version, back to the other type. So I've tried putting this in a unifier and all of this stuff. I tried setting the little things here. It doesn't work. Another thing with the uranium, if you convert this back into the regular uranium, you can convert this back and forth from the block to this stuff. But if you have this stuff in your inventory, this hurts you. The block form doesn't. Yeah, it gives you like a sickness and all sorts of like debuffs. It's just not good. So anyway, let's look at big reactors. So the most important thing for big reactors, we need this reactor case, and we're going to need a lot of this. We're going to need a lot of reactor glass. All of this stuff requires graphite bars. Graphite bars are pretty easy to get. You can smelt graphite dust, which you're probably never going to have until you get into big reactors to begin with. But anyway, smelting charcoal a second time gives you one, or smelting coal. I don't know what's the difference between those two recipes. This one, I guess, is just charcoal, and this is saying charcoal or coal. I don't know. Either way, I smelted up a bunch of my charcoal. So we got 2 stacks of graphite bars ready to go. Look at all this steak that I have from killing cows and stuff while page farming. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know if I actually ever showed you guys this, but yeah, I do have a barrel full of charcoal here. I have a transfer node pulling out of this barrel and it's just putting into these furnace generators. As soon as I use anything here, like a little bit of power, like for instance, if I were to put my jetpack in here, all 3 of these will start sending power and they'll all turn on and start using a piece of charcoal. So this goes down by 3. Yep. And all that power goes right over to the energy cell and that powers all this stuff. Okay. So yeah, pretty basic power setup there. I do have to manually fill this up full of charcoal, but yeah, it's not a big deal. You guys saw how easy it was for me to collect that charcoal. Okay, so we need the graphite bars. A bit of iron. Actually, how much iron do we have? I know it's kind of running low. We got 14 blocks plus a half a stack. I think we're good on that stuff. We're going to need a reactor controller, which is yellorium ingots, or I guess the uranium would work too. More of these reactor casings. We need the access ports. Tell you guys what, I'm going to go ahead and build a bunch of these items that we need. We need a way to put the yellorium in. We need a way to get the plutonium out. We need the yellorium fuel rods to put the yellorium into. We need the control rod. Yep, a lot of different parts here. Let me go ahead and grab some of this stuff, start crafting it up, and we'll be right back, guys. Alright, guys, so I got a bunch of stuff crafted up here. We made a bunch of reactor casings. We got some extra here. We made some reactor glass, reactor control rod, yellorium fuel rod, 2 reactor access ports, a reactor power tap so you get the power out, and the reactor controller. You can't have a reactor without the controller. And then of course we brought some yellorium and I brought some extra graphite just because I forgot to put that or take that out of my inventory. Okay, so I've marked off this chunk here. Remember last time the chunk boundary was right along this line. So actually I can show you if we hit F9 twice, you can see this green wire mesh kind of goes over here, over here. So these torches indicate the inside portion of this chunk. So that everywhere these torches are on the inside, this will be loaded all the time when this quarry is going. So let's go ahead and turn F9 off. We don't need those anymore, just as long as we build within the perimeter of these torches. Well, you can't see that one, but yeah, as long as we build within here, we should be fine. So we're gonna set up a temporary big reactor to power our machinery here. So this is pretty simple. Oh, there goes somebody. Who is that? Is that Corrales? Hey, yeah. Hey, bud. Looks like he's going to be doing some stuff here, setting up his own quarry. So, yeah, we're going to set up a 5x5 big reactor here. Looks like Corrales is going to be taking some notes. Uh-oh. Hey. What are you doing? I don't know what he's doing. Just messing around, having some fun. Yeah, he's been playing on the server quite a lot recently. It's too bad he decided not to upload videos, but he said he's just playing it, having some fun. Doesn't really want to worry about the whole YouTube thing or whatever. So, yep, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be seeing many videos from him during this season, although he could change his mind. I don't know. It's possible. So, yeah, we need the fuel rod in the center there. Let's see, which way? So our quarry's over there, so that's probably the side we want the power to come from is over here. So we will put the power tap on this side. Doesn't really matter where you stick it. It just can't be along these borders as far as I know, or like on the bottom or the top. So anywhere along the inside of the border should be fine. So the power tap's there. I guess we can put the controller right next to it. That doesn't matter. Just as long as that's in like the same locations. So the reactor access port, this is how we put in the yellorium and pull out the plutonium. These do have an interface on there, so you can choose if they're in outlet mode or an inlet mode. So we're going to want one to be able to put stuff in. We're going to want one to pull stuff out. Actually, what are these? Eject fuel, eject waste. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine. So let's see, what else we have here? We have the reactor control rod. I'm actually not sure how tall we're making this. Are we just going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4? I guess that would make it 5 tall, wouldn't it? Yeah, I guess we're going up this tall right here. So I need to remove this sucker. Yep, that's actually going to be replaced by the reactor control rod. There we go. Now the rest of this up top, whoops, can be the reactor casing. Whoops again. Be careful where you're placing these. All right. Got that guy back. This guy back. Aha. So yep, that's pretty much what we're looking like so far. Reactor glass can go pretty much everywhere that we don't have any of those other special blocks. Let's go ahead and fill this all up. Now, I understand that you don't need to put any coolant in these. These can be air-cooled, but you lose efficiency, so it goes through fuel that much faster. I think we're going to try just water. I know water isn't a very good coolant for these, but it's better than nothing from what I understand. Yeah, so we'll just go ahead and fill this all in, right like that, and this side, right like that. Okay, so you can see it turned into the multi-block structure. These are all connected textures and things like that now. We got some extra pieces, which is fine. That's going to allow us later on to make bigger big reactors, or multiple of them, depending on what we want to do. So I want to fill in the center of this thing. We'll remove some of these with water. I actually made enough so I can do an infinite spring. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll use Biffa's tea to dig a hole. Still waiting to get hungry so I can use this thing. Cup of tea. Yeah, let's go ahead and put down some water down here. And water. Oops, I guess I can use 2 buckets at a time. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and I think we'll just fill in the oh, I didn't get the second bucket full. I thought I did. We'll fill in the the 4 corners. Water there. Water here. And we need one more spot. Water there. Okay. That should be fine, I think. Now, this isn't the best coolant. I think liquid ender was the best coolant, or gelid cryothium, or a combination of the two. I can't remember. I went into this in depth a little bit during Agrarian Skies, but that was 1.6. This mod might have been updated and those things changed in 1.7. But yeah, I think we're just going to do this for now. Okay, so we need to put the top back on this guy. Let's do that real quick. Okay, so it's now the multi-block structure. Again, if we click on the reactor controller, we can see an interface here. Let's put one piece of fuel in here and see what happens. So that got sucked in. A little bit of fuel there. And we have to actually turn this thing on, so let's click the activate. So it's building up heat. We're making power somewhere. Yeah, not very much power, huh? Nope, no sir, not at all. If we look at this thing... 0%? Do we want... Does 100% mean it's off or 100% mean it's on? I don't know. Does it make it more power? I honestly can't tell. Oh, no, the RF a tick is going down right there. Okay, so that needed to be at 0. There we go. Now, does this say the RF a tick? Oh, okay, here we go, here we go. So we're making 55, probably 60 RF a tick. Yeah, that's not very good, is it? Well, I mean, that's going to last for a while. A little bit anyway. All right, I think what we need to do is actually make this thing taller. If we have more fuel rod in there, yeah, if we make this thing taller, we can put more fuel rods in there. We got 2 more of these things, which will increase the amount of fuel that it can be used. Yeah, we're only making 59 per tick. That's not that great. I mean, that's decent power. I think that's going to last probably longer than those ender pearls did. But yeah, let me go ahead and make a few adjustments to this thing, and we will be right back. Okay, so 1 fuel rod, 3 blocks tall, not really going to work. So I spent some time, I went mining, I got some more resources. We were pretty much out of iron, so I had to go collect like another stack of iron ore. But yeah, I expanded this out. It is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 by 7. So we have 4 fuel rods in there. Those are still 3 blocks tall. I have water like every other block. It's just flowing. It's not all solid source blocks in there. But it's enough to surround everything with waters, which is pretty good. If we look here on the reactor control, we can see we're making 1.1 13K flux per tick, which is not too bad, really. That's better than what this was making. This was making, what, like 340 a tick or something like that. This does go through a decent amount of fuel. It's not set up to be the best. But this fuel reactivity is pretty good. If you have more than one rod and they're like a block apart, they irradiate each other basically, and it produces a higher percentage here. I'm not exactly sure how that all works, but pretty much the more fuel rods you have that are like one block apart, there's like, you can put coolant between them, the better off your big reactor is going to be. So yeah, we're making a decent amount of fuel, or a decent amount of power from the fuel. So you can go ahead and set that guy here. This will start filling up using that power, so I can get that full. This is making more than this can receive, which is 400 a tick. So yeah, this is still going to continue to power up here. So I think the next thing we need to do is get a power line from our power tap over to the quarry, and I think we're going to send the maximum amount of power that we can over to this little fella. So for now, this guy right here can go. I think I can just go and break that. Yep, that is fine. That little guy can go. We don't need this here anymore, or this guy. So the only thing we do need is a power line that's going to run over from the big reactor and touch this guy right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cables of whichever type we get. Okay, so let me go ahead and make some power cable, and we will be right back. Alright guys, so I went ahead and I made some power cables. These are Ender Energy conduits from Ender.io. So in order to make these guys, you basically need, well, let's see, what do you need? You need to make this stuff, the energetic alloy, and this stuff is made from redstone, gold, ingots, and glowstone dust in the alloy smelter, right? And then to get the next tier, you take that stuff, yeah, the energetic alloy, and put it with an ender pearl, and you get the next tier. So it wasn't really more expensive to do this, so that's the way I went. And to make these cables is the same exact recipe for all 3 tiers. It just depends on this material you put in the center. So I was going to make these middle grade ones, but then I saw it was like not much more expensive for the ender ones. I was like, all right, let's do that. So yep, we went ahead and made this stuff, not too expensive. And then this conduit binder is made by just gravel, sand, and clay. So that's relatively inexpensive as well. So I made 16 of these guys. So we should just be able to take them over here, right like this, and like that. I think that's all we need to do. We might act, is it doing anything? Oh yeah, it looks like it's doing something now. Let's go, actually, let's look in the chest. Is it doing stuff? Yes, okay. So that's all we need to do. We don't have to set the configuration for these things. Yeah, in and out. And this one probably says the same thing, right? Yeah, it's got a mode in and out. So we can set one so only receive or things like that. So how are we doing over here? Oh, you know what? I have particles turned off. Let's see. Video settings, particles, all. Yeah, you should be able to see where this thing is mining. Yeah, there you go. You can see the particles there. Okay, so yeah, it is mining now, and it should be going, I think, full speed for what we have. Yeah, it is draining that power like crazy, that's for sure. So I think what I need to do, let's go ahead and put in a bunch more of this yellorium. Oh, where did I put that? Did I put it in this golden bag? Let's look real quick. Oh no, I left it. Yeah, we need to fill up that reactor full of the yellorium so it's got plenty of fuel to go. There are ways you can set that up so you can extract the waste and then you can reprocess the waste and stick that back in the reactor. So like once you go through your first set of yellorium, it'll turn into plutonium and you can still use that for quite some time. I just gotta figure out what I did with all my yellorium because I know I had it around here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, I was having to put stuff in some strange places just because I'm running out of space here. I'd really like to get an AE system set up, but I don't know if I want to set that up here in the spawn area or if I want to wait till I get to my base or wait till we actually make a base. Yep, that's something we're going to have to do. Okay, so let's put in a stack. Okay, it ate just a good portion of that. So if we come back over here and look, Oh yeah, now we're producing, oh wow, 2K RF a tick? Okay, so yeah, that is pretty good. It looks like we are gaining power here. Let's hit O to turn off NEI. So yeah, we're making more power than what we're using at this point, which is pretty good. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess with this and turn this down so we are using the same amount that we're making. Do something like this, set a couple of these 50%, just so we're not using fuel as quickly. Yeah, we're still making way more. Let's go ahead and turn this down a little bit more. And 50% over here as well. How are we doing now? Man, we're still using way more. Okay. Or we're making way more than it's using, I should say. Maybe this will even out over time. Looks like these numbers are kind of decreasing. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, guys, so I'm going to keep an eye on this for a little bit. Check out what we got going on here. I'm going to try and get that so it's the proper settings, and we'll be right back. So I was looking at the extra utility stuff in NEI here, and I'm seeing that we actually have, well, I was seeing it. Where is it now? Here it is. Yeah, there's like upgrades for the Ender Quarry. So you guys were telling me about the world hole upgrade where it actually removed the blocks from the world. We don't need to do that. It's making the top layer in that age grass. Everywhere else is mycelium. It's very easy to tell what's been mined and what hasn't. But I was looking at these other ones. We could put Silk Touch on there if we wanted to. We'll probably do that eventually. Not right now. There's also Fortune, but let's get like a ×5 power drain multiplier, ×20 for Fortune 2. That's crazy talk. Why? I don't know if that's like when it hits a block that needs to be Fortune, it does ×80, or if it's just a straight ×80. I don't know. Not going to touch that stuff. Ender Quarry speed upgrade, speed 1 upgrade. This is something I'm interested in. I saw there's a speed 2, a speed 3. These require some pretty specific things, like a efficiency 5 diamond pickaxe, and some of these other things. This requires a tier 2 one. I think we're just going to try the speed upgrade tier 1. Yeah. I think we're going to try this. So it requires 2 speed upgrades, an Ender Quarry upgrade base, and a efficiency 1 diamond pickaxe, which should be very easy to get. So we needed to take some more of this Ender infused obsidian and put it around some burnt quartz, I thought. Okay, let's look at the recipe. I could have sworn that's exactly what it was. So tier 1 requires this Ender Quarry base. Oh, it's a QED recipe. Of course it is. Okay, so that's why it didn't work. The recipe was right, I just can't do it on the crafting table. So yeah, we gotta wait for this thing to do its Star Trek-like sounds or whatever it is to make that item. So we needed, what was it, 2 speed upgrades. Let's just take a look one more time. Yep, and an efficiency 1 diamond pickaxe. Let's see if we can make that real quick. That should actually be pretty easy. I assume the table out there, the enchantment table, is going to have that already set for us to go. Just going to make this guy. Put those guys back in there. So yeah, we have like a little community enchantment table here. There's a disenchanting table here, which is pretty cool. So yeah, enchantment table. We need efficiency 1. So let's go ahead and block this all up. And that guy right there, let's do a level 1. There's efficiency 1. Perfect. So first try. Yeah, it's usually what you get with 1 level on a diamond pickaxe. So let's go back in here. We should be about ready to make this item. That guy goes there. Is the QED done? Sounds like it. Ender Quarry base upgrade. Awesome. And there we go. Okay. So, oh, you know what? While we're here, somebody asked me that somebody mentioned in the comments, I never showed who was living next to me. This is actually Biffa's place right here. Let's see. Welcome to Biffa's even more humbly and abode place. Or abode place. Humbly and abode place. Okay. So yeah, this is Biffa's place here. Looks like he's got some stuff laid out, things like that. I don't really want to show too much. I don't know what he's showing on camera. What I do know is he keeps moving this dog closer to my base. So I'm going to just go ahead and push him over to the other side. Over here, I can hear the dog barking in my place, which is kind of annoying to me. But yeah, he should be just out of range over there, so that's fine. So I figured we'd take our cup of tea and we will eat that in Biffa's place. Thanks, Biffa. That was delicious. Okay. Yep, let me through. Right, so now we gotta figure out how we're gonna put that speed upgrade on our quarry. I've never done that before. This is brand new stuff since the last time I've used the Ender Quarry, which was in 1.6. Yeah, I didn't have all these fancy upgrades, so this is something new and exciting for me to check out. So yeah, this is going over here. I did set these control rods way down. This one's at 90%, this one's at 90%, that one's at 80, and this one's at 80, and that's enough to still gain power. Let me hit O again. Yeah, we're still barely gaining power. If I turn any of those down, we start losing power. So we want it right here. So it looks like it's doing about 777 RF a tick, which is great. So I assume we just right click this thing onto here. Shift right click it. Nope. Oh, well, there we go. We just did it stupid. Do we craft these together? How does that work? So we'll put that back right like that. Well, it's mining already. I don't understand. How do I put this on there? There's gotta be... Okay, I'll be back. Alright guys, so we're running into a problem. Our barrels are full. So our chest is filling up full of cobblestone. This isn't good because we're going to run out of space eventually. So I've already put on some upgrades on these better barrels here. I made a few more so we could upgrade some more of these guys. So we're going to put the tier 1 on there. Did the shift click it? And then the tier 2. Just like so. I can't tell if that went on there or not. Don't think it did. Tier 2. Okay. So now we can add on these storage upgrades. So let's go ahead and put one here. Shift click it. Okay, so that says times 3. So this now says it holds 16,000 items. It's the third line from the bottom. So this will go ahead and upgrade us. So we can use a lot more. Well, we can hold a lot more. So all of our cobblestone should now be pulled out of this chest stacks at a time. I think that's going to be much better for us. Okay, so I did find out how this speed upgrade works. You just set it on the ground right next to the Ender Quarry. And you can kind of see how it's attached right there. There's like this little space between the two blocks. So yeah, it is working. It's drawing a lot more power than it was before. I've had to crank up these guys. Well, this one's at 40, 40, 40, 40. I think before we had 2 at 90 and 2 at 80. Anyway, we have that all the way cranked up, and it still isn't getting a buffer here. So we're using a lot of power. This is going ridiculously fast with just that one speed upgrade. Well, maybe not ridiculously fast, but like a heck of a lot faster than it was before. Like you can see each line just doing its thing here. And it does another one. So yeah, this is going to go pretty quickly, I think. I also set up automatic Yellorium insertion with just a transfer node on top of a barrel. The transfer node just attaches right to this guy. So it's always keeping this with the stack. And then the plutonium, I have same thing, just opposite way. The transfer node just pulling out of this thing constantly. Can I click on this? I can. Okay, so whenever a plutonium ingot appears there, it gets pulled out and put right into this barrel. So yeah, I think we're pretty much set here. All the cobblestone out of this? Yeah, pretty much looks like. So we've got a lot of stuff. We're getting a lot of stuff right now, which is awesome. We might have to set up another barrel for like some of these other blocks here. I'm going to keep an eye on this and make sure that it doesn't overflow. We definitely don't want that to happen. Let's see. How are we doing on iron? Yeah, we got a decent amount of iron now, which is great because I had to use a whole heck of a lot of iron to put this thing together. What else we got here? Decent amount of tin and copper. Lots of redstone, which is awesome. We're getting more yellorite ore, so we can go ahead and stick that right here. And I do believe that will smelt up more yellorium ingots, so we can go ahead and take this and stick it right back in the reactor and not have to worry about our power for a little bit longer, which is great. I'll take these guys right over here. Nice. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for this episode of Feed the Beast Infinity. Yeah, like I said, it's been a little bit of time since I've done the big reactors. I mean, I don't think much of this has changed. I think actually the plutonium, there was a bug the last time I used this where it fill up this slot, I think, with a stack of plutonium, and then the extras would come over here. So it'd always be a stack. But other than that, I think this is all pretty much the same. We will work on a better big reactor later on down the road. This is nowhere near efficient, and this is nowhere near the biggest size you can get. These things can make a lot of power. We're not making that much right now. But yep, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you did like it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys.